What is up, everyone? It is Kamikaze here today, and today I have a lot of information for you guys about the new robot Leech, and I also have an update 5.3 overview for you guys. So this is a lot of info packed into one very short video, so make sure to stick around and watch this entire video because I have a lot to share with you guys. Alright guys, cue the intro. Alright guys, so starting off, I have a very special surprise for you guys, and that is the Leech robot, which has been leaked to me on one of the Warbots dev streams. So I took this image of the Leech and I actually upped the contrast and the saturation of it so we can actually get a real look at what it's going to look like. So can I get a drum roll, please? Alright guys, want to see it? Here we go, look at this. Okay, so this is the Leech, guys. Oh my goodness. So, 4 medium weapon slots, obviously. It has the Hussars on there, and that is actually a new robot, that is, a new weapon that has come to the game. So, this robot is obviously a silver robot, but the special thing about this robot is that it can actually take control of your enemies. Yeah, it's going to be a game changer, a game breaker, hopefully not, but I don't know. This robot looks overall very cool. It's a silver robot. It looks like a cross between a Spectre and a Raven, which I find that style pretty interesting. Alright, so let's look at what it's about. So the Leech, this is an unknown new robot that has been rumored to be able to take control of your enemies. Now, what do I mean by take control of your enemies? I mean you can literally pilot the other player. What? I know. So, that is a rumor that I heard from a amazing YouTuber called Islander Warbots. You should go check him out. He makes very great content. So, yeah, it is rumored to be able to take control of your enemies. Now, he got this from Pixonic, okay? Because, he has some relations with Pixonic, of course. So, he knows about this stuff. And so, it's pretty much been confirmed by him. So, I believe that, it's not set in stone probably, but, being able to control your enemies. Oh, no. It's a new era of Warbots, I think, again, and it's going to be interesting. This update 5.3 is going to be very crazy, and I don't know if this robot is going to be in the update, but it's coming along. Update 5.3, update 5.4, around that time. So this update is scheduled to release around the middle of next month, so it's getting there, so I think it's probably going to be an update 5.4 if they're going to release it on the test server, or they might not even put it on the test server and just release it straight to the live server. I don't even know. It just seems like a very short amount of time to get this robot all balanced out. So we'll see, but who knows? Alright, so this is the Behemoth, one of the other robots that will be being released on update 5.3. So the Behemoth is the first robot ever to have 4 heavy weapon slots. The highest firepower ever seen in Warbots. 4 heavy weapon slots. Now, we've seen robots like the Butch being able to handle 2 at a time, but having a total of 4. No, this thing can use all 4 of them. Now, before you're thinking, oh yeah, game changer, game breaker, I think it's going to be a very powerful meta sniper, probably. But, it stops when... So basically, when it's walking, it has 2 slots out, but if you want to get that 4 heavy weapon slot, kind of rush of damage, well, you can pull up and it will stop. It will be immobile like a Raging, and you will have access to all 4 of those slots. So that is a lot of firepower. I tried that on the test server. 4 Exoduses does a lot of damage. I don't think it's going to be a game changer though, or a game breaker. It will probably change the sniper meta decently, but I think snipers currently aren't really meta. They're not really a meta at this point. So I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. Let's not get too worried about this robot. Next up, we have the Phantom. Okay, so the Phantom is something that I'm a little bit worried about. I'm worried about this more than the Behemoth, because what it can do is it can teleport. Yeah, it truly is a new age of Warbots that we're running into here, with robots with 4 heavy weapon slots, and now robots that can teleport, robots that can take control of your enemies. It's going to be interesting. So basically, this robot teleports. So you kind of hit this beacon, and then you can run wherever you want, and if you ever need to go back to that beacon, let's say you're getting a ton of firepower on top of you, well, then you can hit that little ability button, and boom, you're back at that point. Now it only lasts for 15 seconds, and you get a little bit of a speed boost and resistance. I think this robot might be pretty powerful. We'll see. It doesn't have too much firepower, so I'm a little bit worried about it, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. I don't know. Okay. Next up, we have a new active module, and that is the phase shift. This is a new active module that will turn you invincible, but here's the deal. When you are invincible, you cannot deal damage to anyone else either. So this is kind of a last stand type thing where you need to run away. You need to get to cover very quickly, and so you're going to have about 6 seconds to do that, but you won't be able to hit anything, sadly. So it's not like a last stand where you can still fire anything, so I don't think, again, a game changer or a game breaker. I think, you may see this decently. You'll see it, probably. But I think it's going to be 40 power cells, so that kind of sucks. And it has a 25-second cooldown like most of these active modules have 25-second cooldowns, 25 seconds. Okay. And then we have the Battleborn changes. So the Battleborn has already been released a while back, but it was just never really powerful. As someone that had used it on the test server, I don't actually own one, it was just not like something that was very powerful. It was like 20, the 20 seconds, it seems like a long time, but when you're trying to run to the battlefield, you're wasting up most of that, so you're not going to be able to really use this. So it now activates upon your first hit. So as soon as you take that initial damage, even if it's a little tiny shot, that's when it starts. And it's only going to last for 10 seconds. So I think that that's going to give it a little bit of boost. It's more of a playstyle change than a boost, I think. But yeah, you'll probably see Battleborn now a lot more, especially considering it's actually cheaper than the other modules. It's 2,500 gold rather than 5,000, so it's a little bit more affordable. Next up, we have the last stand changes. So sadly, we didn't see a nerf to the last stand. Oh my goodness. Big Sonic, what are you doing? Even if the last stand just needs a tiny nerf, like from 4.5 seconds at level 6 to maybe 3. That's all you really need. But yeah, Big Sonic doesn't really care. So you can now see when last stand will activate on the enemy's hit bar. So that little red bar that you see, you can now see like it's a little bit like it's a darker red, and that's where basically you'll be able to tell when the last stand will activate, or if the player even has a last stand. So this will be very effective in clan battles, in a lot of different places. Now you actually for sure know if they have last stand, which is like, thank God. Thank God. I don't want to go into a situation where, I'm battling them, and then suddenly, oh yeah, they have a level 6 last stand, and you're kind of screwed. That happens a lot, and now I know, when I see that darker red, I know there's a last stand there. Alright, next up, we have the Quantum Radar. Now, this was something that I was so confused about. Why? I was very confused. They removed the 2-second delay upon activation. Now, what? I don't understand really why stealth, other than the Al June, stealth has been dying off pretty decently. So I don't really understand why they're taking off the 2 seconds. I don't think it'll be, again, a big game breaker, but I hope it'll be a little bit, the Al June, the main meta right now, will be a little bit more counterable because of this, but I think the Al June just needs a straight nerf rather than removing this 2-second delay. I don't really know why they did that. That was kind of dumb, in my opinion, considering the Quantum Radar is already one of a very powerful module currently, for 20 power cells, of course. And then we have, these are the balance changes, basically, to all of our weapons and some robots. So, the ammo capacity of the GUST has been reduced. This is a odd nerf. I don't know why they did this. This is kind of dumb. So, as a person that has GUST, I can tell you they're not overpowered at all. Ever since Halos have come to the game, GUST has definitely been on the back end of popularity. You don't see GUST really anymore, other than sometimes on an Ares or something. So I don't really understand why they're nerfing it, but the capacity is down from 9 shots to 5. That was the only thing that really the GUST had for it, like going against a Halo. Because the GUST could actually sustain a little bit more, and the Halo couldn't. It had that 5 shots limit. And, now the GUST doesn't even have that. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to get a Halo, rather, over a GUST? So I'm a little bit confused by that. The reload time has been turned down from 9 to 5 seconds, and so again, it's kind of like it's a nerf. It's a nerf, definitely. There's no denying that, and I don't really understand why. It, it is a really weird, odd nerf, and I don't know what Pixonic's doing with this. It just doesn't make sense. Next up, we have the Raven. So 20%, this is a pretty big buff. 20% extra damage increase for 8 seconds after ability. So as soon as you hit that jump, boom, 20% extra damage for 8 seconds. And that's going to last you well after you've even hit the ground. If you use them twice, no, you don't get a 16-second boost. If you use it like 2 at the same time, no, it will just restart on the second one. So if you hit the first one, it's already kind of depleting that 20% boost, like it's going down in terms of seconds. Once you hit that second one, it kind of restarts back up to 8 seconds. So no, they don't stack, sadly. So after ability use, and then it has a 132k HP to 138 HP, which that's 6,000 extra HP. I can't complain about that. That's pretty nice. And then we have 3 kilometers per hour boost. So that's a little bit under like 10%. It's in between 5 and 10% of a speed boost. So definitely not huge. I think the 20% damage increase is going to be the biggest factor of this. Again, the Raven's not going to be meta, so before you guys kind of go like, oh yeah, I'm going to go buy the Raven, it's not going to be meta. Sorry, hate to break it to you. Definitely Aljuns are going to be the meta now, with this Ares nerf that is coming up. Okay, so the Avenger. This was kind of odd. Now, basically it'll have 10% longer shot interval, and then it will go reload from 10 down to 8 seconds. So, I mean, it's a nerf, but, I mean, it's not a big deal. I kind of understand, actually. You know, the Avenger is definitely a very overpowered weapon. I think in the heavy weapon category, it's kind of messed up. Like, weapons, really the Avenger kind of takes over in terms of heavy weapons. Whenever you have a heavy weapon, you're going to be running the Avenger. Whether that's on an Aljun, a Hades, whatever, you're running an Avenger, usually. Next up, we have the Molat T increase. So 10% longer in between interval, and then the shots reload will be down to 10 to 8 seconds, 10% less shot dispersion. So I think that's more of a buff than anything, and I think the Molats kind of need it. You know, they are sniper, camper weapons, so you don't want to buff them too much, make them too overpowered in the lower leagues. And then we have the Punishers. So the Punishers, this is the most exciting one in terms of all these kinetic weapons nerfs and buffs. So they increase the ammo by 30 rounds. So that'll give you a couple of seconds of extra firing, and then the reload is down from 10 to 8 seconds. So this is definitely going to be able to sustain that damage, that DPS, for much longer. And I think the Punishers and Punisher Ts definitely need it. You know, they're a cheap weapon, but I think that they should have at least some power, and I don't think they did before. So now you have that kind of like damage over time, which is really nice. And this is, they had a good nerf, they had a good balanced nerf, and then they did this. So the reload of the ability has been turned up by 2 seconds. So that basically means, for those of you that don't know what an Ares train is, it's basically when you get a bunch of Ares together, and they go and basically wreck everything with an infinite shield. Now, with this, before, if you had the ability boosters and stuff, you could basically run a 3-person Ares train pretty effectively. Now, with this, you know, it's going to be a lot harder to do an Ares train with this nerf. So the 2 extra seconds, surprisingly, will make it a lot harder for players to do Ares trains if they don't have the reload boosters on. You know, if they do, then I think you still can do an Ares train with a team of 3. So, but also, speed decrease of 33% while in its ability. So that is huge. You know, you think 33% and you're like, it's not that much. It's a lot. If you've seen it, it is a lot. So basically, it goes instantly down from 60 kilometers per hour to 40, and that is slower than a Falcon. It's slow. It is very slow. You know, you know, the Ares has been very overpowered for probably 6-7 months now. Actually, almost 8, maybe. So, I'm happy to see the Ares go, but this nerf is going to completely destroy it, I think. The 2 extra seconds, the 33% decrease, I think this nerf should have just been the 33% decrease in speed. Not the reload of ability, the extra 2 seconds. I don't think that was really needed. I think the 25% that they had on the test server may have been a little bit weak, so maybe that 33% would be better, but, you don't need that 2% extra ability. I don't even know why. It's gonna just delete the Ares from the meta. I can almost guarantee it. And the Aljun will definitely rise, because the Aljun arguably was nearly as powerful as the Ares. So, of course, the Aljun is going to be the meta. If you haven't stocked up on an Aljun, well, I would buy it now, because it's about to get pretty OP. It's going to be the meta, I guarantee you. You're going to see players with 4 or 5 Aljun hangers. No question. Next up, we have the Nemesis. So, it gets some extra health. A little bit, I think it's like 10,000 extra. And then 1% kilometer per hour speed boost, so not very huge. And then it has a 20% speed decrease while ability is active. So the Nemesis I didn't think was that OP, but I think this is more of a playstyle change rather than a nerf. I think it got a little bit of extra health, a tiny bit of extra speed normally, and then some less speed while in its ability. Now, I actually like these 20% decreases, because you know why? I hate these playstyles where, it's just reload, hide, get behind cover, reload your ability, and then run out and fire. It's so boring. It gets kind of annoying. And now we're getting into these playstyles where, when you're using that ability, you're getting a lot of extra, you're getting that shield, and then you're also getting that extra built-in weapon, but at the same time, you're losing something. So it's kind of a give and take, and it's going to change the playstyle of these robots, I think, a lot. So we'll see. I don't think it's a huge change to the Nemesis. It won't be too big. And then we have the Hades also. So I run a Hades. The Hades is pretty powerful, I gotta admit. If the Aljun wasn't here, the Hades would be next in line to be the meta after the Ares nerf. So, this little nerf, it works. And again, playstyle change. So I think I'll still run the Hades in my hangar. We'll see how powerful the Hades and Ares are, because they are both my hangar. This entire nerf and buff thing is going to affect my hangar a lot. So we'll see. Next up, we have the Tauron. So again, I'm running Taurons in my hangar, so it's gonna mess up my hangar a lot. Almost half of my hangar has been nerfed now. Oh my goodness, I am screwed. So 25% longer delay between shots. That's about 0.05 second delay between bursts. So 25% longer between the shots. So the shots, it's like kind of that doo-doo-doo. The burst is... So... oh my goodness, how do I explain this? So there are 3 or 4 shots in a burst of the Tauron fire. So the shots are going to be 25% slower. So it'll be more like do probably, instead of the regular you guys know what the Tauron sounds like. So and then there's going to be a 0.05 second delay between the bursts. So not a big deal. Definitely not. It's not going to be a game changer for the Tauron, but it is a nerf. I think the Taurons were kind of overpowered in a sense. So, I'm kind of happy to see this. But it's annoying, because everything in my hangar is getting nerfed. Like, half of it is getting nerfed. So the Orkan, this is a dumb nerf. I don't understand. The Orkan isn't even overpowered. It's not even meta. It's not... In fact, I would even call it underpowered. It once was a very overpowered, but they gave it a decent nerf. And now they're nerfing it again. They're reducing its capacity by 7 shots. So now it doesn't even have that kind of, burst anymore. It just doesn't. It's not going to have that insane damage that it used to do. And, I played around with Orkans, and they don't have the damage anymore. I've seen people run Ares where it's like Orkan Pinata. They just don't... They don't have that burst anymore. They don't have that insane amount of damage in an insane little time. And now the damage output is going to be even less. So, yeah. And then the reload time is getting reduced by 3 seconds, which, of course, because they're reducing the capacity, they're also reducing the reload time. Oh my goodness, my voice today. So yeah, that's a dumb nerf. The Orkin's already dead. Don't understand. What are you doing, Pixonic? All right. So the extra buffs. This is kind of the other stuff. So the Redeemer is getting +3 shots. So shots again. The Redeemer shoots out in bursts of 3. So it'll basically get an extra burst on top of it before it has to reload. Not a big game changer in terms of the Redeemer. I played around with the Redeemer. It's a decent weapon, but it's not meta. Calamity +10% damage DPS. Yeah, cool. It's not going to do too much again for the Calamity. I think the Calamity is a good weapon, but it's just kind of underpowered. So this will give it a little bit of the boost, hopefully. We'll see. Marquise, I own a Marquise. It doesn't do that much. So they gave it a boost of 20% damage per shot. Again, kind of cool. The Marquise is these light weapon snipers normally aren't meta at all. You can boost it all you want. It's not going to do very much. So, I don't think that's, again, a game changer. Next up, we have the pilots, the new pilots. So as you can see here, we have a new pilot coming to the game. They never said a name on it. It's just a new pilot. We saw it. So we will have to see what that turns out to be. And then we have another pilot, which they actually showed, Adam O'Leary, which actually is a Griffin pilot. Yes, the Griffin is a silver robot, and now it's getting a pilot. You can buy the Griffin for silver, and now it's getting a legendary pilot. So I wonder if that's going to be like a cheaper pilot? I don't know. That's interesting. We'll have to see. So its ability recharges a little bit faster. Not a lot faster. It'll be like 10%. So yeah. And then we have Operation Gathering Storm, and that is the Battle Pass. So this Battle Pass is actually, I was kind of against it at the start, and now I've kind of grown fond of it, actually. I mean, the more they talk about it, the more I kind of get more excited about it. And of course, I have my things I'm nervous about, but like, dude, you're getting some decent stuff from it. They talked about how there's about 2,500 gold in the Battle Pass, and that's not including your little daily challenge that you get. So that's going to be about 2,500 over the course of 2 months. So it actually adds up to a little bit over 40 gold. Plus your 30 you're getting from the daily challenge. You're getting about 70 gold, which normally you would get from a daily challenge, from your 2 daily challenges would be about 60. So, that's extra gold, slightly extra, which I can't complain. That's pretty nice. I'm liking it. And then you get all of these extra kind of like things and stuff, like maybe 100 keys here, and then you have some of these boosters and pilots and weapons, robots, whatever. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. Now it does have a gold tier, which again, it's Pixonic. They're going to be pay to win. So for all you pay to win players, I mean, $15 for what you're getting for 2 months. I mean, you're getting a decent amount of stuff. But I think that it should be integrated into VIP. So, I mean, VIP should be getting the gold tier automatically, but not in Pixonic's eyes, sadly. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how the Battle Pass goes. I hope you get some good rewards out of it. I hope it's going to be good, but we can never tell until it comes onto the live server, so we will see. Next up, we have the new skins, and that is the Griffin skin. Is that going to haunt your nightmares? Yeah. So that Griffin skin is looking amazing. Amazing. It's kind of like the Leech areas and stuff where it's actually changing not just the paint job, but the actual kind of characteristics, physical characteristics of the robot. So that is cool. And then also we have the Aljun skin. This thing, oh my goodness, this thing actually looks like a dragon now. It looks like a dragon. Oh my goodness. It's just a cool paint job. It's a cool paint job. It really is. So I kind of like those. And then, we have the Blitz. I'm not a big fan of the skin, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it does look kind of cool. It's like a fire kind of one. And then the Aljun. Oh my goodness. It looks like it's called the Robobot. It's silver. It's a really like kind of ordinary skin, but it was very nice put together. It was nicely put together. It's very simple, but it looks nice. It looks nice in my opinion. Next up, and actually finally, we have the skins are now getting a little bit of a boost. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this. And this is kind of controversial. People are saying, I don't like this, and I do like this. But basically, now skins give you a little bit of a buff. So basically, what they're showing us was for Operation Gathering Storm, there's an Overseer skin, which was the red eye kind of blitz style that I was showing you guys. And so, if you have that one, you're going to get a 5% extra HP buff to your robot, which 5%, not huge, but still, that's pretty cool. I like the skins are now kind of getting that style. Some people don't exactly like it, and I understand that. I definitely do. So, let me wrap this up, guys. What do I think about Update 5.3? I think that in terms of the rebalancing, I think they skimped on a lot of stuff. They messed up a lot, and that there are a lot of issues with that. You know, the rebalancing, on the terms of the rebalancing, it's just not gonna fix the game. The game balance right now sucks, and that rebalance is not gonna make it any better at all. So that sucks, honestly. But other than that, you know, the rest of the update is not looking too bad. You know, we have new skins, we have the Gathering Storm, which is going to allow you to get more resources. Yes, if you want the premium, it's going to cost you about $15, but I mean, even free-to-play players are getting a little bit extra in that. You know, the new robots, they don't seem like game-changing. Yeah, they seem powerful, but they're not game-changers, I don't think. So, yeah. Overall, I think this is an update. Overall, it's good. It's a good update. It's a big update. It has a lot of new stuff, and we'll have to see how it turns out on the live server, of course. You know, this is just kind of not really rumors, but it's the news and stuff that Pixonic has been feeding us. Maybe the update will turn out different. Maybe it will turn out better. Maybe it will turn out worse. We don't know. So, this is the end of the video, guys. Please, if you could, like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching Kamikaze Warbots. I'm going to see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.